So today our class is on SEO, search engine optimization, and I'll quickly explain what is SEO before we go on to the presentation. Now, whenever you're doing any search, right? Imagine I'm searching for, say, vegan leather handbag. Now, whatever comes here and whatever you can see as ADS ads, right, which is your shopping ad, and we'll take this in the next session, which is search engine marketing. You can see these ads. All of these are SEM, which is search engine marketing. Everything that comes post that, which starts from here, is a SEO listing. Okay, it's not called an ad, it's called a search engine optimization listing. So it's also called as an organic listing for making it easier. But all the things that you see, even this section, right, which is people also ask, and then all the other listings that you can see below, including this, which is called as a local pack, where you have usually, 3 addresses that are given of stores near you. All of these are a form of SEO. Even the images section, right? Wherever on the search on this page is called the search engine results page. Whatever you see here, which does not have the word AD. See, now these also have the word AD, right? And when we're taking the next class, we'll discuss about where all and how many ads come on one page. But other than that, everything that you see is a part of SEO. Okay, so we are going to discuss that if a brand, if I want to come on top of this, and imagine someone searching for vegan leather handbags, and if I don't have a lot of money to do ads because all of these cost money, right? I have to give Google money to come in the listing here. If I need to be on the top here, what is it that I need to do, right? If I want to be listed in these questions, if I want my website to be answering these questions, what is it that I need to do? So this is what SEO is. Now going back to our presentation, when we talk about SEO, we usually talk about Google. And it's not like SEO is only Google. SEO is also Bing. In India, SEO is also Yahoo, right? We have Google, Bing, and Yahoo. We have these 3 search engines that in India we have. There's Baidu and Yandex, which is in other countries across the world. But Google forms a majority share. So 92% of all the searches that happen on any search engine in the world happens on Google, which is why when we talk about SEO, we talk about how do we optimize Google. Now, the other aspects of it, right, which is Bing and Yahoo. Yahoo is still, a lot of people don't give too much importance because Yahoo as a company also has been going down for the past couple of years. But Bing, for example, all the big companies who do Google SEO also go on to do Bing SEO. Now, Bing and Google have a lot of things which are similar in terms of how they rank pages, okay, how they rank websites. But there's still a lot of difference also, and we'll go through that also in this session. Now, I have some trivia, and each of these trivia are associated with some of the other factors of SEO. The first thing is Google, Bing, and Yahoo, all 3 have around 200 factors which determine how does a page rank. Now, in that vegan leather handbags, on what basis did Google decide to show that whichever the brand is, I'll go back here, to have the good trade, right, which is this website, you can see here, to have this website on top. Now, if you go up, you will see the number of searches that are present on this, right? With all of these searches, Google has decided that this listing here needs to be the first one, that this listing of flare here needs to be the second one. This is decided by Google. Now, Google decides, and imagine 200 factors for every listing, every search that happens, right? Tomorrow, even if I'm searching for, say, Chinese restaurants, Mumbai, look at the number of results that have come in, and they have come in only 0.8 seconds. However, Google is still able to decide that when someone is searching for Chinese restaurants, the first listing that they would want is the address itself, because most probably if you're looking at a restaurant, you would want to visit the restaurant, right? So they have already given you listing which are in the local pack, and then there are a list, right? 36 best restaurants, 10 best restaurants. Now, on what basis did Curly Tails come before TripAdvisor? Is it because it has 36 versus 10? It's a possibility, right? Quantum is also important because Google also realizes that people would want to see a variety rather than seeing lesser. However, there are also other things. Now, maybe it's possible that in the past, when TripAdvisor was in the first, right? Maybe, and these listings, by the way, keep changing all the time. Maybe when TripAdvisor was first, a lot of people were not clicking on TripAdvisor. So the entire CTR concept, right? Click-through rate, which is out of 100 people, how many people have clicked on the listing? That for the first position for TripAdvisor may have been low. Maybe people saw TripAdvisor first, saw Curly Tails, and then realized that TripAdvisor only had 10. curly tails had 36, and that's why they were clicking on this more than they clicked on this. And that is why Google has now put this at the first position, then put TripAdvisor, right? So there are so many reasons why, and this also, if you and I, right now, if we do our searches through a logged in account, and you have to log in to your account to get relevant results, because Google otherwise doesn't know where you're from and who you are and all of those details. So if I have logged in and if you have logged in and we both put the exact same search, there's a huge possibility that you will not get these listings in the same list that I'm getting in. Because in the past, if I have seen more of curly tails videos on social and I've interacted more on curly tails, then Google realizes that maybe I'm more fond of curly tails and I'm fond of TripAdvisor. So all of those details are unique. So when we're talking about 200 factors, there are also factors in that which are very specifically customizable to what is Pooja searching for or what did Pooja click on before. And basis that my search engine results page, which is what this is called, right? This entire page is called a SERP page. My search engine results page is customized to me as much as it possibly can. Now, when we talk about searches and where is the opportunity? Now, imagine there are big partners, right? Especially if you look at banks and you look at big companies. Now, these companies, like, for example, your Make My Trip, GoIBO, Clear Trip, all of these guys have been there forever in the market. On what basis is it that a new partner can come in and say, chalo, let me do SEO? Now, the opportunity is because every single day, people search for newer things and how we search for it also changes. Now, when COVID happened, especially, there were so many things that people searched for, which they had never searched for before, right? Now, an oxygen concentrator, I had never even heard of an oxygen concentrator before in my life. And when COVID hit, everyone was searching for oxygen concentrators. We were searching for so many medicines, which were, very specific to that time, that the number of searches, new searches peaked. The other thing that also increased a lot was the fact that because people, when we are searching, we usually search for things basis what we had got in our last search. So imagine this, that I wanted, and this happened yesterday, I wanted to really eat ice cream, okay? And this was after 10 o'clock. I was searching for places and I was trying to find in Zomato and everything said closes in 10 minutes and, already closed, reopening tomorrow. And, Zomato has these small things that it gives you. So I went on to Google and I searched for ice cream shops open near me. And then I got a list, but it had close next to it. So then I searched for ice cream shops near me open after 10. Now or maybe, people around me may not have searched for that before. And there are so many things that we customize. So we search for something, we see if we are getting things which make sense. And if we are not getting the relevant result, we will modify the search, right? We will add a keyword or something to it. There are also searches which then we make it very specific. So like when I was searching for an ATM, I was coming back from office and I was searching for an ATM and I was in the rickshaw. And I did not know, how to search for an ATM. So when I searched for ATMs near my location and all, I was not getting anything very specifically. So then I went and I remember there was this ATM near a building that I live. And like below the building, right? I actually put ATM and the building's name. Now, a lot of people would have not searched that before. So when we are looking at search, we're also looking at how people are searching differently. And the best part of SEO is the fact that because we are consumers ourselves, when we become digital marketers, we know what we would search for when we are looking for the product, right? So if I'm looking at a credit card as a consumer, I still remember when I started working, I was not eligible for a credit card anywhere. And I would keep searching because, and there is, what do you call it? There is an aspirational value to a credit card, right? And I still remember searching for different searches, say, which said credit card for people, below this age or earning this much. I used to search for all of these random things which were possible, and there's always that opportunity. So even if an HDFC, ICICI, Axis, Kotak, all of these guys have already taken that place, which is, having all the searches, all the content covered for those searches, there are still people like me who will go and search something random. So if a new company, a new credit card company comes in and they want to rank on top, they can look at the kind of keywords which are not very common, which people have just started, right? So that 15% of searches, and I'm saying 15% on a daily basis, if there are 1 billion searches, 15% of the searches would have never been exactly written before. Now, I'll also just give you, however, a tip, right? Now, Chinese restaurant Mumbai and Chinese restaurant in Mumbai are both different searches. If you see, the list below has changed, right? You saw, I think, once. You can see what has come here. These three have come here, right? Now, when I put an in, the list has changed. And this is what I'm saying is an opportunity, because for every addition of even the smallest of word, the search result can change, which means that there is a possibility if someone else has taken that space, you go to some other keyword which is similar, which people can search for, where it's easier to rank. Now, all the and this is a very, very important part to remember. Okay, now imagine how we search for. Now let me give you an example. There's this new squid game that started on Netflix, right? I, by the way, finished watching it yesterday, finally. When we search for things, when someone told me to watch Squid Game, my first thing was to go on to Google and type Squid Game. Now, when I typed on Google Squid Game, and I will actually do this for you so you know how this works. Now, when I type for Squid Game, right, I have got videos first because obviously it's a, it's like a series. So I have got videos first. Then you have people also ask. Then you have Netflix. Then you have Wikipedia, top stories, etc. Right? You have all of this. You have reviews. Now, when someone asks me to watch something, I have 2-3 options, right? One I have as an option is to go to Google and search, which I did. The second thing I do is I go to Netflix and I search for Squid Game there. I mean, if obviously if the banner is first, then I'll click on it. But otherwise, if someone randomly goes and tells me you should watch this movie, like imagine that Andaz Apna Apna movie, right? Someone today comes and says you should watch, and I've watched it. But if someone comes and says you should watch Andaz Apna Apna, you will type it on either a YouTube or you will type it on a Netflix, right? You search for it. Now, search engine does not only mean Google search or Bing search or Yahoo search. Search engine means where does a user go to search for something. Now your Amazon Echo. So when people search, and even this, right now, people who have Echo or people who have Google Home, they can just read it out. They can just say, which is the closest restaurant, Chinese restaurant near me. That's also a search. So when we're talking about search, we are also talking about people who search on a YouTube. We are talking about people who search on Netflix or Z, whichever OTT platforms you have. We are also talking about people who are searching using voice, okay, wherein you are talking to an Echo or a Echo Dot or whatever, you're talking to that and asking a question. So search is wherever you're searching, and that's where it will keep evolving, because this is not only someone going and writing in your Google search bar. Now, the entire thing, and if you ask me this year SEO or next year SEO, what's the biggest thing? It is voice and it is vernacular. A lot of you all will be doing voice search, right? You all will be opening your Google voice bar and you will be talking and asking a question. That is something that's taken up a lot. Now, generations like, me and my parents and all of that, we are still not very easy adapters to searching through voice. Okay, it's still a little bit difficult because, the telling out, like if I'm in a rickshaw, or a cab, telling out what I'm searching for, it seems a little off to me. So I still don't use it. And I know a lot of people around me also don't use it. However, the newer, generation, which is all of you all may be more comfortable using voice searches. So because you guys are the ones who are now coming into the entire consumer lifestyle, and you guys are going to be making decisions about purchases and all, it's important to target you all, right? You all are the main audience we have to look after. So it's very important that brands look at voice searches. Now, voice searches, however, are different from searches that happen when you're just normally typing something. And I'll tell you how. When I'm telling a voice search, right? Imagine if I was doing this. I'll have to on this. Google, are there restaurants near me? Now, when I was searching for restaurants near me, right? Or Chinese restaurants near me. When I am doing when I'm actually telling by voice, my search includes this word, which it has taken. It shouldn't have taken, but it's taken, right? And then it's taken, are there restaurants near me? Now, this is where voice search comes in. Now, the listing below, if you see what has happened first, there is Easy Diner, then you have these, then you have your TripAdvisor. Your curly tails has completely gotten out, right? There is no curly tails here. the listing that happens on voice search keywords are always going to be different from the ones that we write. So always remember that you, as a user, what are the things you would say, whatever you're selling, whichever brand you're promoting, how would you say it and how do you search for it? Write it down in a list and also start optimizing for those keywords. The second thing is vernacular. Now, vernacular searches, a lot of people, right? People, who come to cook in the house and people who are house helps. A lot of them use vernacular in their searches. They will search in Hindi or Kannada. They'll search in their native language, right? So they'll either type it in because their keyboard is in that language, or they will do a voice search using that. A lot of people, by the way, because they're not very comfortable, writing, they do voice searches, right? In those cases, you have to also cover vernacular searches. Now, vernacular, though, and when a couple of years ago, when people were telling, brands to do vernacular, we used to keep thinking that vernacular, the people usually, right, people who type in vernacular, not speak, we all speak vernacular in our homes, but people who type vernacular may not be people in metro cities. However, that's proved wrong because a lot of searches that are coming for vernacular are coming from proper main cities, right? And are coming from audiences who are, educated, working in corporates and all, who would always otherwise use English. But when they are searching, because it's their personal space, right? When I'm at home, if I was a Maharashtrian, right? And if I was at home and I would be very comfortable, doing a search in Marathi. So to understand that there are those audiences available and to cater to those audiences, vernacular searches become extremely important. Now, when someone searches, okay, this is very important about how many words are used. And when I open the keyword planner tool, I will show you why and how do you, derive something out of this. But I'll explain now about the 3 words. Now, when I'm searching, and remember when I was searching for this, right? How many words are there in this restaurants near me? There are 3 words. If I'm searching for, say, salon near me, 3 words. If I'm searching for mobile under, how many words? 3 words. Most of the searches that people do have 3 words because there is a filtration. The first word will be the category itself. The second and the third word is the filtration about how do you want. So when I'm saying restaurants near me, I'm filtering out restaurants, right? I'm saying I only want restaurants near me. I want restaurants, but near me. When I'm saying mobiles under 15,000, I'm saying I want mobiles, but I want mobiles which are only under 15,000. So when you're searching for, say, school admission, say most of these things, right? You will have 3 or 4. Now, the places where there are 4 are places where the word itself, the category or the product itself is 2. The addition usually is 1 word, 1 word. Now, here there are 2 words, right? 2 words. So, most of the searches, so today, even though on the average it is 3, right? When we are looking at keywords, we look at 3 and 4. Any keyword which is just 1 or 2, right? Here now the word itself is 2, but otherwise if it is just 1 word, if I just wrote school, what does school mean? What am I searching for? There's no understanding of what the search is. Now, if I'm searching for example, football, what am I searching for football? Only if I add football match today, will I understand the intent, right? So these 2 words that are added, or the last 2 words that are added to a category or a product is going to add intent, saying what are you trying to search for. Otherwise, kuch pata nahi chalega na. Otherwise, you can, and that's why SEO usually never includes basic keywords. So if you're talking about credit card, right? When you're talking about credit card, what do you want? Are you looking at buying a credit card? Are you looking at renewing a credit card? Do you want, the fees for a credit card? I don't understand anything when someone's talking about a credit card, right? So if you see, it says credit card apply online for instant approval. But maybe I was not even looking for that. So what happens is when people put a keyword like this, they usually go down and they start trying to see if there's anything what they were searching for. And I'll go down, down, down. I'll reach here and I will say, oh, I was searching for free credit card, and I'll click on this, right? And there's an intent tag. So always, remember that the plain keyword as it is, which is the product itself, doesn't mean anything. There has to be something which is added along with it. Now, local searches, right? And when COVID hit, Google had sent us all a report which talked about how did Google trends change. And the report is called Google. Wait a minute, I forgot the name of the report. It's available for free download. This is free, by the way. You all can go and search. There are different years available. Now here, India. I'm going to put global. So even for India, it's available. I'm just trying to understand. I'm not able to move actually. For now, I'll put global, but it's also available. So if you do Google here and search India, you will get specific to India. Now here you get a list of what were people searching for the most in the year 2020. Okay? And if you go here, you will see movies and concerts and all, and you will understand. And this doesn't mean it was also good, right? It can also be, like for example, Sushant Singh Rajput. It's not a good thing. So it's put in loss, right? Who did you lose? Who did the world lose? There are movies and TV shows and all of this. Now, right, there are just like nice things about, different type of searches that people did. What are the kind of things people like? The trends that happen, right? And I will share this with you all. Very interesting. But you get all of this. I'll just search for the India thing at first. There's an India report. Right now, in this, it says about what are the things people searched for. And you see here local first. How people started searching for a lot of things near them. Because, you especially when the entire lockdown happened, you weren't allowed to go outside, right? You had to search for things near them. So people were searching for local news. People were searching for things near me, medical shops near me, hospitals near me. There were so many searches that were happening around this space. And go through this report in detail. It's really, really nice. But this is what has happened, right? There are trends and Google releases these reports and tells you that this is what people are searching for. Local search results caught up by such a huge percentage, purely because of the entire fact that now people had no option to travel too far. So even places like, even when things were opening up, people were searching for, local, places near weekend getaways near me. People were searching for things to do near them. Now, the good part of this is because it's been, and now it's been like 2 years nearly, right? People have started appreciating places near them. They have started going to places because initially, if you wanted to buy vegetables, maybe you went to DMart, right? You went to a place a little away from you. Today, because you couldn't necessarily, and all of these things, places were also shut or had timings and all. You would just get down from your building and start buying from the local person who is outside your building, right? Now, because you have developed a relationship with them, they give you a discount, they'll give you free dhania or whatever. Because of that, now people have continued their behavior of going local. So now local searches and all are still continuing, even though things are opening up, the local searches thing still continues. Now, 18% of all the searches, and this is where we have to pay a little bit attention when someone searches for something. So imagine I'm searching for, now when I was searching for coffee table, right? Like I said, coffee table as a word doesn't mean anything. This can just be because I want to go and look at images. Right? So I have put the word coffee table and now I'm trying to wonder. I'm seeing here, ye sab nahi chahiye tha. Then I keep going down, down, down. And I reach this place. And I will say, chalo, I wanted coffee or I wanted round coffee table, right? So I will click on round coffee table. Now this is related searches. 18% of all searches result in people clicking on this section, which is related searches. And this is where the opportunity lies. So what happens is when you as a brand, if I was Pepper Fry or I was ADITYA and I was trying to get my listing on top for coffee table, I should go down, see all the different type of things people are searching for and say that along with optimizing my this keyword, so I rank first, I will also look at all of these keywords. So I will look at round coffee table wooden, I'll look at modern round coffee table. I'll also look at getting on the first position for all of these related searches. Now that's an opportunity that we have to remember. The reason why SEO is important, because see, SEM is anyway paid, right? Search engine marketing is anyway paid. It is the ads that are there on the top and bottom of the first page. The challenge happens because if you don't have too much money and if you're not on the first position, only 25 people go to the second page, which means out of 100 people who search, and this is a percentage, right? So out of every 100 people who are searching, only 25 people go to page 2. So if you are not there on page 1, and imagine if you are this listing, right? Imagine you are Wayfair. If you are Wayfair, you are on page 2, which means out of 100 people, only 25 people have come to this page. Out of 25, then there'll be even lesser and lesser people clicking on you, right? Out of 25, maybe 10 people have clicked on you. And out of 10, how many will buy? So being on second position, third page, sorry, the second page, third page, and all the chodi do. But even on second page, there's such a small audience that comes here. That opportunity gets lost. And that is why SEO is important, because you want to be here on page 1, where 75 people, 75% of people will be clicking here, right? 75 out of 100 is a big thing. Even if you reduce and say 75 may 50 people have come to the page, out of 50, at least 2 people will buy the product. Now, at least there's that kind of funnel that's built. If you're on the second page, 25 logo mein kitne log convert honge? So then that gets a little challenging. The other thing to remember is 63% people click on the ad section. So if I'm on the first page here, 63 people out of, remember 75 people are on this page. Out of the 63 people have clicked on the ad section, which is 1, 2, 3. Usually there are 4 ads also if all of them are doing ads together. And then you usually have 2 ads down. So I'll give you an example of personal loans. Let me see if they have 4. See, they have 4. They have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 4 ads. And then they also have ads here. See, there is 1, 2, 3, and yahan pe bhi there can be 4 ads. So total ads, which means out of 75 people who have stayed on the first page, 63 people have clicked on these 8 ads that are there on page 1, right? 4 on top, 4 on bottom. Which is why there is this entire question about whether SEO is dead. Do people even need to do SEO? What is 75 minus 63? Hardly anything to go after, right? A lot of people have that question. However, why it's important is this, that ads are difficult to sustain. 365 days, if you have to do an ad, and honestly, I'm telling you, very, very few brands have that kind of money to do an ad every single day of their year, right? Very few. And honestly, these are companies like, your for in this, for example, your Bajaj Finserv also may not do 365 days, right? Your HDFC will do, ICICI will do, Kotak will do, Axis also doesn't do 365 days. But only the bigger guys who have a lot of money lying around can do an ad every single day of the year. The other guys have to say that if I do not, for the rest of the months, right? If I have money only for doing ads 7 months a year, for the rest of the time, what do I do? Then I have to focus on SEO, because you can't keep doing ads all the time. So that is where this gets important. That if you do not have budgets, then you have to be at a good position in SEO so that you don't have to continuously keep spending money. Now, the last point here is on Google image searches. Now, when I buy something, and going back to my coffee table example, out of every 100 people who search for coffee table, and I'm saying 100 because it's all a percentage, right? So if it was 200 people and it's 3% for 100, then it's 6 people for 200, right? That's how the math goes. So when someone types something, only 3 people out of 100 people go to this section. You all may have gone to this section, images section. A lot of products, especially in the e-commerce side, are bought by or are checked out at this level, at the image level. So when we talk about, and even this is SEO, right? And we will talk about how to rank this. But now this is, for example, an ad section. So I'll go down. These are your non-paid, right? These are SEO. To make sure that we are here. So when someone, and a lot of things are visual, right? I'll see this, I'll see all of this, and I'll say, okay, this is pretty, and I'll click on this, and I'll go to this page. So this is why image is also, even though it's a very small number, it's a very small number today. But remember this, that whatever comes on top here is also going to come when I'm searching for a normal search, right? These are as this. If you have your images done, this one, if you have your images optimized for SEO, you will be at the at this section, you will have your product listed here, which is important because people will see this and I'll say, oh, wow, what is this? Let me check. Right? And I go in here. So this is where it gets important to do image SEO also. Any questions, guys, about any of this?